Hi, this is Bill Raymond, and welcome to my next video on creating a Docker AI and machine learning image using Visual Studio Code. In the previous video, I showed you how to install all of the AI and machine learning tools that I promised you we would. Now, there are thousands of AI, machine learning, and Python packages out there to help you do all sorts of things. In this video, I want you to understand how you can install them. So we're going to install one more package. It's called PyTorch. I'm not just going to copy and paste the code. I'm going to walk you through the process for finding the package, installing the package, and ultimately updating your image. So with that, let's get started. Okay, I have PyTorch on the left and Visual Studio Code open on the right. Let's open up our container. So I'll do my Command-Shift-P or Control-Shift-P and type open folder in container and press return. Select the folder that has our Dockerfile and open it. Now that the container is open, let's focus our attention to this PyTorch website. PyTorch is an AI and machine learning package that you can install for Python. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details as to what it is. You can read up on that yourself. Again, the purpose here is to say, oh, someone informs you that there's this great tool you can use for Python. How do I install it? And this is the process that we're going to follow. Most modern Python packages have the installation instructions right on the homepage, as the PyTorch website does. If I scroll down, you'll see there's how to install PyTorch. Now let's take a look at what it's asking. First, it's saying, what is the build you want to use? There's stable and preview. Most Python packages have this. Usually you want to choose stable unless you know what you're doing, because the preview, this kind of beta features may or may not work properly. And then it says, what's your OS? Well, I'm on this website on my Mac, and it thinks that I want it for the Mac. But really, don't forget, we're using Ubuntu as our Docker operating system. So I need to choose Linux. And then it's saying, how do you want to install this? What package manager? There's Conda, pip, libtorch, all sorts of different methods. I'm going to choose pip because we've been using that for the entirety of this video series. Next is saying, what language do you want to use PyTorch in? Of course, we want to use Python. And then it's saying, what is your compute platform? Now, if you happen to have a specialized piece of hardware that supports CUDA, then you can choose that. But I'm going to choose CPU. If you don't know what CUDA is, you can read up on that and learn more about it. Next, you get this thing that says run this command. It says pip3 install, and there's a whole bunch of information on how to do that. So I'm going to copy that text. And before I go and put it into my Dockerfile, I just want to make sure that this actually works properly. So I'm going to come over here to Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to shrink this page down a little bit. So we have Visual Studio Code at the forefront, and I'm going to press my Control backtick, Control tilde, and open up the terminal window. I'll go ahead and paste that code in and press return. As you can see, it's starting to download the package, and over time, it's going to finish the installation. What I want to do is make sure that there are no errors along the way. Sometimes when you install these products, it'll come back and say, oh, first you need to have this other thing installed. And then you try it again, and it says, oh, you need this other thing installed. And then it will give you some instructions on some other commands that you need to run. So I just want to make sure that there aren't any errors. And there aren't here. There is a warning, but we can ignore that. So now that I know that this actually works properly, I can put it into my Dockerfile. And you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, we just did that. Well, remember, there's two things that we have. One is our Docker image, and that is built from our Dockerfile. And the other is a place where we can do our coding and work on things, and that's the Docker container. We could at any time rebuild that Docker container. So if I just left this installation here, then you would end up not having the installation the next time you rebuilt the image. So I'm going to type exit and press return. And then I'm going to go to the Explorer and open the Dockerfile. At the end of the Dockerfile, I'm going to create a new line. And now you remember, I can just type this whole pip3 install, but don't forget, you always have to type the word run in capital letters before that command. So there, I've done that. I know you can't see the entire line there, but there, it's all there that I just pasted it. And I'm going to go to the end and press return once more. So there's a blank line. I'm going to save the file. Now I want to rebuild my Docker image and make sure that this works. So I'll do my Command-Shift-P or Control-Shift-P and type rebuild container and press return. You might want to pause because it could take a while to finish the installation. There, my dev container rebuilt, and I didn't receive any errors, so that's a good sign. But I do want to make sure that 1, it installed, and 2, the right version is on there. So you can see here in this commands that we had to copy and paste, it says pip3 install torch. I know it's called PyTorch, but that's the name of the package that we installed. So if I want to find out if it installed and find out the version, I'll do Control backtick on my keyboard to open the terminal, and then I will type pip show torch and press return. With the PyTorch website on the left and this information on the right, I can verify that there is that version 2.01. Yours might be different because you're doing this video training after I have created the video. But you can see over here on the left, it also says the stable build is 2.0.1. So there, that's how you install new packages. First, you use the terminal window to make sure you get everything right. And then after you get all the steps down, you put them into your Dockerfile. And remember before I did tell you you could do these backslashes to add that to the same line as something else. And sometimes you need to use the 2 ampersands with the backslashes. You could do that, but I'm not going to do that in this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you want more like this, please like, comment, and click the bell to support my channel.